At 12:45, it's our first guest, our friend Dick Girardi, who helps us out with the Triple Crown. We'll get 10 minutes or so with him on the final jewel, the Belmont Stakes, about 12:45. For those of you who like to bet the ponies, the Belmont Stakes coming up this weekend at 6 o'clock post time, and Girardi will help us out with that. Then we're going to go to Indianapolis or that area and catch up with Scott Agnes, who we've spoken with the last couple of years. He's been kind of our go-to fever guy. I found him a couple of years ago, and he's been really good and really accommodating. And then it hit the fan on Tuesday with him as far as losing his credential with the fever, and it's gone national. And Scott Agnes going to join Trent tonight to kick off the second hour of the program to let us know if there's any update or where it stands. I saw a piece on Awful announcing today, still status quo, as he's persona non grata with the fever, who continue to get in their own way. Just remarkable, truly is. So Scott Agnes at 1:02, and then Bill Bender. Everything going on with college football. He's written a whole bunch of really cool, make you think pieces when it comes to sports, in particular college football. Although he wrote a really good one today on the NFL and some of the best players that have played some of the worst teams, like a Calvin Johnson, or a Barry Sanders. Not wasted. Lion. Yeah, those are two of the top 10. But that's kind of the gist of the article. So we'll talk to Bill Bender about that, college football, et cetera, et cetera. And then Trent will make some picks before we skedaddle on out of here and make way for the boys coming up at 2 o'clock off the bench with Sean and Lucas. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Just okay.
So a week ago, as Jack and I were going through our various ailments, Jack with the broken wrist had it looked at, so got to wear the cast a little bit longer, and he was not pleased this morning when that news came down from Dr. Wynn. But in my shoulder injury, you said last week, well, it comes to threes. And I said, you SOB, why do you even got to say that out loud?
What happened?
So yesterday, towards the end of the program, my daughter does not have a phone, does not have a cell phone, and will not have a cell phone for a while.
Wow. Good for you.
Yes, staying away. But she does have...
How much pressure have you been withstanding?
A lot. Yeah. I would say certainly at her school.
She's got to be in the distinct minority.
Probably 75, 80%.
Has to be.
But she does have a watch that she can make phone calls and also text. It's called
I had one of those too in the 60s. It was called a Dick Tracy watch.
Dick Tracy watch, right.
For those of us who were kids in the 60s, you would remember those.
I remember seeing those. Those were vintage then in the 80s. And I was like, those things look pretty cool. Yeah. And then my parents said they didn't work. They didn't work well at all. Well, this is a gizmo watch. And I get a phone call. I'm towards the end of the second segment of the second hour yesterday. I text her as I'm talking on the air. What's up?
Yeah.
Another phone call comes in. I'm like, oh boy. So I go to break. I call her back on her watch, and she is screaming, bawling, absolutely unconsolable. Get her settled down. What's happening?
During the break, you got her settled down.
This is during our 4-minute break.
Yeah.
Get her to calm down. She explained she was trying to open up. She was going to make some shells and cheese for her and Jack.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the box open.
A good big sister
would.
Yep,
absolutely. And used some scissors and sliced her hand. Blood everywhere. I said, can you stop the bleeding? Get that on there. Yes. Okay. The bleeding is stopped. Get home, race out of here at 2 o'clock and get home. And there's blood all over.
Really?
There's blood all over. So we have to go in and get stitches because at first, well, it's not that bad. It's not that deep, but softball tournament coming up this weekend. She's got a couple of rec games tonight. She's going on vacation next week. Just want to make sure instead of trying to do it ourselves, let's just take her. Go to Doctors Now, the quick in and out place.
Yeah.
They didn't have anybody in there. I looked ahead.
Where do you go? Doctors Now?
Doctors Now. Yeah. It's like a quick in and out. Say you got a cold.
Like a walk-in clinic type thing, right?
Yeah. Real quick.
Yeah.
$15 copay. Boom.
Perfect.
And the doctor says, I think we need some stitches.
Really?
Yeah. Need some stitches on it. So Jack is a tough little guy. Ella, on the other hand, does not have a whole lot of pain tolerance at all. And just to start, got to put the hand in some water with the microbe back from whatever, make sure it's cleaned out. Even putting her hand in water.
And here comes the sting.
Yes. It's going to sting. It's going 5 minutes of tears. And finally did it. Oh, just stung for a second. Yes, exactly. So then the stitches come. She lets out a blood curdling scream and screams at the doctor, take it out, take it. Just losing it. Finally, after about 10 minutes, I get her calmed down enough, look away. The doctor said, of all the stitches that she has done in her life, she used double the amount she's ever done before of the numbing agent to try to relax Ella and try to calm her down. Finally get it done. Afterwards, the nurse comes in, asks, everything okay? Any questions? And Ella asks her, could you hear me screaming? And the nurse says, the whole building could hear you screaming. So that is Ella. That is my daughter. She's stitched up, ready to go, and we'll see. She's supposed to be on the mound tonight for a little rec softball.
Put a little butter on and get out there.
We'll
kid.
see how it goes. Yeah, might need a little more numbing agent on that one. Luckily, it's the glove hand. So that's the good news. It's on the glove hand. She should be good to go. And away we go. And you are right. It comes in threes as the Condon family continues to fall apart.
Doctors now. That's a new one.
Yes.
I've never heard of that before. Pretty cool. All right, let's get into to sports, and obviously we have to start with what we saw last night in San Antonio and this Knicks team. Look, I don't know what it seemingly. I looked at the box score today and was actually surprised because I thought they got every offensive rebound in the game. The Knicks, they were actually out offensive rebound by the Spurs, which just blew me away because every time San Antonio needed a stop and they'd get a stop or a missed shot and an opportunity to go the other way, the Knicks would grab the basketball time after time after time. Hart was unbelievable. Cat was unbelievable in the basketball game. I haven't even mentioned Brunson, who's just on a different level. But my good God, this Knicks team, and what floored me last night, Trent, and I'm guessing you thought the same thing in parts of the game as well. How many Knicks fans were in the building? It almost sounded like it was in Madison. Okay, that's a little hyperbolic. But there was a very noticeable Knicks fan presence in the building.
The murmur, the roars that started certainly during the second half, during the comeback, and then overtaking and taking the lead. It wasn't just that you're watching a road game in college basketball and you hear that little section. No. And you can hear that from time to time. And sometimes a little bit more. Or even a neutral court affair. It was loud for a visiting building. And I think it's one thing when they play in Philly or even Boston.
Sure.
Or Cleveland.
Yeah.
Or, to
get on a train.
This is San Antonio.
Yeah. That's not drivable.
No.
Well, I guess it is, but.
Does it show us that maybe the Knicks fandom is deeper nationally than we even think about?
Perhaps that, or perhaps the fact that, despite having to buy a plane ticket and a hotel room, it might be cheaper to see a game there when you're following Rovell on Twitter. And as the game's getting closer to the end, and it's apparent that the Knicks are going to win, the get-in price is $5,900, then it's $6,400, then it's $7,500. It just keeps going up, and you're on and it's a big bill. Have you been to MSG?
I have not.
It's really cool. But the top of the building, the ceiling's the roof. To still lie.
Yes.
And these are, I don't think you can touch the roof, but almost up in some of the nosebleeds. They have some creatures.
Not the bleacher creatures.
I can't think of what they call themselves. Certainly at Ranger games, I'm sure it's a Nick. But I'm wondering if it's just cheaper.
Yes.
If you want to see your squad, you're going to have to travel.
$300-$400 for a plane ticket. Maybe a touch more because it's quick and a quick turnaround. But say $500. All right, there's a plane ticket.
$200, $250 to stay the night.
Right. Couple of nights in the hotel. And even if you're spending $1,500, $2,000, it's a lot cheaper.
You're ahead of the game.
Speaking of those tweets, I saw a tweet yesterday. It was, I think, on StubHub, one of them. It was the budget price, the cheapest ticket available.
I saw this, the quote budget price.
And it was like $6,400.
Yeah.
Different budget than I got.
A budget. Yeah. Times are tough a little bit. We're going to do something for you. Here's the budget.
Here's the budget of $6,400 for the upper reaches.
We hear you, fan base. We know that times are tough right now, so we're going to put this little perk in there for you. Good God. But anyways, the series itself, it's 1-0. Where are you? How do you feel about this now?
I don't want to say it's over.
I don't know. But I don't think, if you got the Knicks, you're really in a good spot.
Absolutely. It goes back to what we said. I couldn't understand the pricing. I really couldn't. It was so surprising that it still was that big. And even after the conclusion of things, I thought it was going to tighten up more. It wasn't. I got a plus 170 on the Knicks to hedge my Spurs bet that I had from a couple rounds before. And I feel great. I felt great going into the game. I thought they were going to take one of the two.
Yeah.
But during the first half of the game, too, I was like, well, it's not tonight.
Yeah. Although they jumped on him right out of the chute.
Yes. Yeah. The first couple minutes of the game.
And by the way, because there was a prop out there, will Wembanyama get the opening tip? That wasn't even fair. Who jumped? Was it Towns that jumped for the Knicks? It must have been.
I believe so, yeah.
Never let the ball get to the pinnacle.
Don't even waste the energy.
Yeah, and he got the tip. If I would never bet that type of a prop. But anyways,
Jalen Brunson. Can you remember a guy that is ascended into this?
No. fourth quarter Brunson is unbelievable. Those Villanova teams.
With injuries early in his career.
Yeah.
Before he finally got going. And it was year 6 when they won the championship.
Yeah.
So that's one. But for a guy that first he was reserve and then he becomes a starter, he's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mavericks had a chance to extend him at one point. Well, I think it was 4 years, 50.
You're right.
That's too much for Jalen Brunson.
And
then he ascended from there. And then the asking price obviously was going to go up before they made that decision, or maybe his family and the connections made the decision for him. But whatever it is, to turn into this, you watched him. He's a really good
absolutely was.
But
we see a lot of really good college players through.
But to think that he could be this kind of on this kind of stage, out of left field, after with ridiculous shooting ability, maybe you can talk yourself into it, even as a collegiate coming from Dayton.
Because he did something better than anybody else.
Yes. Yeah, you had that elite skill. One elite skill that makes you a difference. It's what we talk about Gym. Yeah, he sucked a lot of things.
Yeah, he did.
But he was an elite rebounder, and that's how he's sticking the league.
Or 91 with the Bulls was bad either. One trip that he had.
That's if you can do 1 point elite, you can stick.
There's a lot of really good stuff.
Add it all together, and the total is a lot bigger than the sum when you look at it in the picture. It's just, I love watching it. Did you ever see what happened at the end of the game?
When he went over to talk to Scott Foster?
Is that what it was?
He went and he sought out Scott Foster.
Because
I don't know what was said.
I didn't see the Scott Foster part. When I looked back up, it was when he was shouting at somebody in the stands or back behind.
Well, he went over to he was leaving the court and walked out of his way to Foster's, but he wanted to talk to Foster. And they did, and it didn't seem like it was animated.
Maybe that's what it was, and just where he was looking when I looked back up.
Yeah, maybe someone was shut up, or maybe he looked at somebody in the stands. But I think he was making a point, definitely. Look, it wasn't a great officiating, but you know what? Was there a point in the game that you thought the officials are going to interject themselves, and this is why the Knicks won, or this is why the Spurs lost? Was there one point? They overturned a couple of calls during the game, but that wasn't.
No, I didn't think so. I didn't think it was it wasn't well officiated, like you said. I agree with that, but it wasn't tilted, slanted.
I didn't sense that.
It was bad both ways.
I've got no horse in the race.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Be consistent.
Yeah.
And if it's consistently bad, at least be consistently bad against both teams.
Right.
I thought that was nice. But yeah, I found that interesting. And then I kind of looked around a little bit on Twitter last night. I didn't see exactly what it was, but that does make a little sense. Also, to say to Scott Foster, who doesn't seem to be a real beloved figure in the NBA.
And he keeps getting these big spots. He keeps getting these big spots. Interesting. Well, good stuff. And 1-0 for the Knicks. We'll see where this goes. Man, if you got our Knicks tickets, you got to be ecstatic. And so it's tomorrow night, game 2, and then nothing until Monday.
Taking the weekend off.
Was the garden booked or something?
Got a circus in town?
I don't know.
Rangers aren't playing.
No. There's only 2 teams left, and they're not one of them.
St. John's doesn't have an exhibition game or anything.
I wonder, but I'm not complaining. Stretch it out as far as we can.
Right, and that means then we get 2 games during the week next week. That is going to be Monday.
And Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday.
Then they'll play on Saturday. That'll be game 5, if necessary.
It's going to be net. They're not going to sweep.
Tuesday, the 16th, then for game 6. And game 7, scheduled for Friday. Seems odd.
It does seem odd. So game 6, can you imagine?
No.
I mean, you can't.
No.
Because as we speculate, and I think our speculation, we got around to, I don't know, it's a couple of weeks ago, maybe the Knicks after they dispatched. We were kind of bantering back and forth, where the Knicks rank when it comes to New York sports. And they don't have the Islanders or the Jets or the Mets. The Nets don't matter in this equation because they played in Brooklyn. It's like the Devils don't matter to the Rangers.
And for years they were in Jersey. They were out at the Meadowlands for decades. It's just so different. I think the gap between 1 and 2, the tightest has to be the Giants and
Jets. Yes.
Then Rangers, Islanders.
Yeah. Well, Yankees, Mets. There's a lot of Mets fans.
There are. Yeah. And I think it depends on the time. I mean, people in my era, I got Mets buddies all over the place.
Because of the 80s?
The 80s Mets.
86 Mets, yeah.
I mean, the characters that went along with the great teams.
That was a great team.
You put those two together,
Boy,
and
they
all of a
broke some
sudden,
laws, didn't they?
an 8 to 10-year-old kid, like, hey, that team's fun. I like that team. I like Glenny Dykstra with 4 pounds of chew in his mouth. And that's the kind of guy that I want to.
I want to hang with Strawberry and Gooden when I grow up.
Absolutely. Those guys are partying for the capital P. So there's lots of Mets. Is that number in terms of the closeness? But there's so many Yankee fans too. I think it's Giants Jets.
Is 2.
1 of the in terms of closeness.
Okay, I see. So you think the football
the most split maybe amongst
I don't know. Yankees are the Yankees. They're such a dominating.
Do we know any New Yorkers that we've had on the show?
Do we know any New Yorkers?
Like real New York
that grew up in New York?
Right. Not somebody that grew up in upstate or anything
like
that. Rack my brain.
No. I can't think of it.
No. Because you have to be in the city to know, to have that feeling.
Yeah.
Well, if you are a New Yorker, if you lived in New York, hit us up. 515-284-KXNO. Shoot us a call and let us know.
Yeah. I guess the football team's playing. Does it matter that the football team's playing in New Jersey and have since for a long, long time? They used to play Yankee Stadium back in the day. I don't know. There's so many Yankee fans. Anyways, we do know the answer of the last night was the Knicks are going to prevail, and they did.
Caller helped us out with the Scott Foster, Jalen Brunson thing. At the end.
What did he say?
There was a couple of fans that were not just heckling, Brunson thought maybe going over the line.
So that's why maybe he was.
That's why he was.
Okay.
When I was watching, it wasn't. He was pointing back somewhere, and that's what he was getting.
Okay.
So that's what the caller said that it was. And from my perspective and kind of what I was watching, that makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't think it was animated, so I don't think he was tearing a strip off of him. He was.
Yes.
But I wasn't sure. How about the guy running around the court? I mean, it's social media. Is that what it is? Is that what's behind this? Do you want a viral moment?
But we've had people do that for decades. It's not just the social media age thing. We had, what was the lady's name?
Morgana the Kissing Panda.
There you go. Yeah. Had her.
Yeah.
There was a guy that stuck into all these different events.
Well, there was the guy with the hair that would be behind the goalpost with field goal kicker with
John 316.
John 316 or 17,
16,
whatever.
Yep. 16.
With the rainbow hair. Yes. He was famous. Then there's today we've got Mets man, or no, Marlins man.
Yes.
Marlins man, he's everywhere. God, he must have to buy those seats every big event. I guess maybe it's just, and they're going to bar him for life.
Good.
Yeah, but 20 years from now, how are you going to keep him out?
Right. Yeah.
Right? He's grown up. He's no longer got hair or whatever.
Who knows with AI and facial recognition, they'll still be able to figure him out.
Maybe that could be a part of things. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll get into baseball. We'll get into some other topics as well. 12:45, we're going to talk to Dick Girardi, opining on the Belmont Stakes. That's coming up on Saturday. We'll do that at 12:45. Agnes, a guy that covers the fever. He's going to join us to talk about any resolution. What's behind this? That they got their hands slapped by the league. That the brass got their hands caught in the cookie jar when it comes to Caitlin's injury. When it was quote load management, they were trying to. I don't know. Here's the thing. I want to know this, and this is probably a question for Scott, because it's more than just betting. Props for CC, right? Do the Fever take control of their season tickets that aren't going to be used? Whether, if you've got season tickets and you don't want to sell them to StubHub, turn them back over to the Fever. We'll then get those. We'll get them in somebody's hand and we'll credit your account. Do they own that? Because it would be in their interest not to let anybody know that Caitlin's not playing a home game here.
Right.
Keep snapping up these tickets.
I think from what I read through Scott and what he put up on his site, he didn't use the term load management, but it was a term that is very close.
Yeah.
Reading between the lines, we know what he meant. Load management without saying load management. I think that's what upset them. I think that's what the Fever, this is what got them all.
But where was he wrong?
He was exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
His reporting was correct.
Yes.
It was just the phrasing, the terminology that he used that rank, which is at the end.
It's ridiculous. Here's the thing. This guy's been covering the Fever since before Caitlin was at Dowling.
Yes.
When no one cared.
He also had his credentials taken away by the Pacers.
And that was because he was caught in an area, or not, I guess caught, I don't know, caught insinuates he was doing something. He was in an area that you weren't supposed to be in at this particular time of the pregame. Is that it?
There was something there. The other hand slap that he got as he parked, I think,
he
during the All-Star
parked.
game.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he let the parking guy know, am I okay to park here? Got the thumbs up. Right. And then said, okay, here's my number. If I have to come and move my car, reach out to me and I'll come right back. So the parking guy was okay with it.
Yep.
The Pacers weren't.
He's parked there many times before. It is normally medium parking, but it was different. It's not a regular season game. Okay.
It wasn't a regular season game.
No, it was like an all-star. And that's why he asked and wanted to make sure. Thumbs up. What the Pacers weren't happy about it. Now we're going to revoke your credentials. What enough?
Yeah, it really is. Well, we'll talk to Scott Agnes about that at 1 o'clock. Look forward to doing that and then do a whole bunch of stuff. How have your picks been going this week?
Oh, very good.
Are they? Yes. Are you hitting your props?
We are. So yesterday we went, let me pull it up here, 6-1.
Awesome.
Over the last week, we are 31-21, up 9.8 units. How about this? The last 30 days, let's stretch it out. 112, 98-4, up 29.1 units.
We're just getting back to even. You got a big hill to climb.
We got a deep
November was as bad as I can ever.
I couldn't see anything.
No.
College basketball was back all season long.
I remember there were weeks, maybe you hit 1 out of 3. All right,
I got one.
The corner.
Yeah, I got one. These props, they're fun. And unjuiced.bet, I'm telling you, it's a week-free trial. You can just test it out and see if it's something with these prop bets. It's something that I've never been heavily involved in, but it just spits out in the algorithm what different sports you have. Maybe you only have a couple. That's okay. It'll still let you know. It grades them. If it's a 90 grade, that for me, I'm going to bet that one.
That's when you play.
That's what I'm going to jump for. I like playing total bases, usually 1.5. Sometimes it's a half, depending on the batter. And strikeouts. Those are the ones that I've really zeroed in, and I dived a little bit deeper.
Is that maybe their strength?
No, I wouldn't say so. I just say those are the ones that I feel most confident with myself. That's more of a personal thing. Maybe you're somebody who likes those home run pops. That's another thing that they have. Home runs, strikeouts, outs from pitchers. All the different things that are there. And, those home runs, sometimes the guy's 8-1 for that one. And the other guy might be 12-1. Those kind of, if it's, hey, I'm going to bet 5 of these a day, you hit 1, you're going to be in good shape. Maybe that's the direction you can go. But it works for the WNBA, for the NBA, for MLB. Football's obviously coming up. Give it a try. Unjuiced.bet. You want to jump aboard.
And they're local. They're Ankeny.
This is Ankeny, too. Yeah, this isn't some national company that, oh, hey, these two knuckleheads, they just like to talk. No, these are local people that know our show, know KXNO, know the Iowa Sports Radio Network, and it was a great idea. In other places like this, but it's not just with the props. It's also arbitrage betting. And they just rolled out this week a new tool. This is really cool. And talk about the arbitrage. You bet $100 on one side at $1, 100 on the other, and you might gobble up $8, in the middle just because of the arbitrage. Well, you take it a step further, and now they have gone out there, not just the arbitrage betting, not just what the best lines are that you can find that are out there, but they also have middles. We talk about opportunities. How about this? I'm just taking a look at the WNBA tonight. You have the over-under in the Fever Valkyries. All right. At FanDuel, the under is 168.5. The over at Circa is 167. So you bet under, over at FanDuel. At Circa, you bet the over. If the middle hits, you guarantee yourself a profit betting $100 on each side of $108. If you lose, you're going to lose $5. Yeah. That's it. Put one of those middles a week, and it spits out. I have another one here, FanDuel, which I have, and Fanatics that I have. This one, FanDuel and Fanatics. DraftKings and FanDuel. I think Fanatics were leaving the state. Are they? Maybe I'm I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I thought that. But that's what it spits out for you. Put the sports books that you have in there. 30% off with the code KXNO, unjuiced.bet. I think everybody listening has seen how it has improved me over this last month plus now. I think this is something that really can work for so many people. Well, it's apparent. I mean, you're putting them out there. You're going public with them. Do you know how long they tinkered with it before they brought it to market? quite a while. I know it's a lot of work, and it feels like Tyler, who runs things, he's
And
always
how old
working.
is Tyler?
Mid-20s. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, him and his dad helping out. We have another cool tool, and I know we talk about this often, is we hear about that $100,000 bet, that $500,000, $1 million bet. They have something called Shark Intel, and what it does, it tracks the biggest bettors out there, both in regular sports books, but also people that are betting in the poly marketplaces, things like that. And it'll let you know when it happens, what goes. Also, if that bettor that put that bet in is considered a sharp bettor. So I'm looking right now. This is graded as a 90 grade. Somebody just put in a bet for $8.3 thousand, so $8,300. And yes, the Knicks win the championship and now minus 178. So this is somebody just put that bet in. Here's a $20,000 bet. Let's see.
Those aren't local. Those are anywhere in the country.
Anywhere in the country.
Any platform that they're using.
Yes. And it also tells you that. Here's a play in baseball today. $35,200 was bet on the Brewers today.
Hang on a second. They're a day game.
Well, minus 178. Somebody fired who is considered in this a sharp bettor.
Yeah.
Minus 178 Brewers. They're betting $35,200.
And they start at 110.
We're going to keep an eye on that one.
You know what I want to do? We'll see where that goes. Good stuff. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. I want to get into a couple of other things before we switch gears and talk a little Belmont. That'll be at 12:45. Miller and Condon underway on a Thursday. The Iowa Sports Radio Network.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. Trent Condon here for Circus Sports. The Circus Sports Iowa app, sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circusports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Live and local every weekday. Statewide on the Iowa Sports Radio Network and everywhere you are on the free iHeartRadio app. This is Des Moines Sports Station. 106.3 KXNO.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
This September, coming back to Las Vegas, streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Tickets go on sale Friday, June 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific through AXS.com.
But starting Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet?
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
It's showtime. This is Tony Bachhoven, the voice of the Knoxville Raceway, and I'm inviting you to the sprint car capital of the world. This week is Lakeside Casino and Knoxville Legends Night. $15 for adults and 12 and under are free. For more information, visit knoxvilleraceway.com.
Hey guys, it's us, the Jonas Brothers. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Nick. And guess what? We created our own podcast.
And it's called Hey Jonas.
Listen to Hey Jonas on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you have neuropathy? Are you experiencing numbness, tingling, and pain that just won't stop? Are you taking dangerous drugs that have serious side effects and never fix the pain? Neuropathy is a serious progressive condition that only gets worse if not treated properly. If not treated, it could result in confinement to a walker, wheelchair, or even amputation. Call Vero Neuropathy at 515-789-VERO. VERO for your $37 neuropathy evaluation. There are no drugs, exercises, or surgeries that can heal damaged nerves. Don't wait until your condition gets worse and stops you from living your life. Vero Neuropathy has time-tested, proven track record of helping hundreds of patients improve their neuropathy symptoms. If you're ready to regain your independence, contact Vero Neuropathy at 515-789-VERO. Call now for your $37 neuropathy evaluation and receive a personal treatment plan that is tailored to your needs. Call 515-789-VERO. That's 8367. Don't suffer anymore.
Babbel proudly presents The Poison Gift.
Derek, hi.
Hi. I got you something. Ein bisschen Gift.
Gift? Ist das Gift?
Ja, ist das Gift. Für dich.
If you buy her a gift, don't tell her it's poison. Use Babbel. Practice with Babbel's guided conversations based on real situations. Get up to 50% off on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
More with Miller and Condon in 60 seconds, right here on 106.3 KXNO.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, rock star. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
It's the French Open, where every point is a battle on clay. I know. I competed there for decades. Join me, Renee Stubbs, on the Renee Stubbs Tennis Podcast for no-nonsense breakdowns of the biggest matches, the toughest players, and the moments that define Roland Garros.
Listen, Elena Rybakina is arguably the best player in the world right now, and I actually can win on any surface.
Search the Renee Stubbs Tennis Podcast on iHeartRadio, America's #1 podcast network, and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
Presented by Capital One, founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports.
Des Moines, it's time to get serious about early literacy. Everyone has a role to play to build successful readers. Whether you're a parent, teacher, or someone that cares, you can be a Des Moines Public Library Rosie Reader. Learn more by going to dmpl.org/Rosie Reader.
You're listening to Miller and Condon. He can see it wide open on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
All right, Miller and Condon, welcome back. Short segment here before we make Dick Girardi at 12:45, the little Belmont with Dick. Hour 2, Scott Agnes covered the Fever.
Still does,
just didn't get to go watch him in person. And we'll talk to him, and then Bill Bender, Trent's plays of the day are coming up. So it's starting to sink in a little bit, my where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to Cindy, my wife, and she had, what are you going to miss? Well, I'm going to miss a lot. But you know the thing that I keep coming back to, and we've talked about it a little bit when it comes to how Cyclone fans are going to watch this team. You're going to bet on this team, whether you want to take overs or unders. I think this is one of the most fascinating stories in the 30 years I've been on the air, and it's right at the end. I can't think of anything that comes close to what they're going through. It's the whole team and the whole coaching staff.
Yeah.
Is there anything that comes close to this?
Not on the local front. We've never seen anything turnover
anywhere
in a sport that matters like this too.
Expansion drafts notwithstanding, when a team comes in the league and they're all new players.
This is a completely different level. And I posted something yesterday to Nick Marovitz, or actually it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
Who day to day. And I think both you and I and a lot of other people that I've listened to, and we have Eugene on, and we have Bill on, and we keep falling back to we don't know. I think we do know.
Do we?
They're not going to be very good.
I don't think so, but what if they are?
Make the case.
I can't, but I don't know if I can make the case that they're just going to stink.
I think that's certainly the easier case to make. But in a way, I think we've been dancing around it.
But I've always been a glass half full Trent, as you know.
right. Mr. Optimism 1 and 2 here. That's both of us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to be very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the easy answer, but it's also the true answer. And maybe you maybe should be more truthful. Is there a path? Sure. But isn't that path best case scenario? You sneak out of 7 and 5.
I guess. I think.
And I think that would take so many breaks and so many bounces and so many stories out of nowhere and guys that we haven't even talked about that. Oh, look, this guy's actually a player. That's, I think, the only path for that happening. And that's not any kind of indictment on Jimmy Rogers. It's not his coaching ability. Just, it was one thing at Washington State with the weird schedule that they're playing a year ago. Plus, he brought so many of the South Dakota. And I understand he's bringing a lot of Washington State guys with him too. The Big 12 is not what the Big 12 was in football.
No.
But it's still a very good conference.
Yep.
And to just be able to come
couple of really good teams at the top
with 85 new guys. And we'll be fine. It will still be maybe a step below what we were the last couple of years. I think there's a couple of steps you're taking.
I think you're probably right. I don't know how Rayner's going to, take on the Big 12. We'll see how that goes. It's not like he blew everybody away last year. What's Shields going to do?
Right.
What number? I guess that would be the answer, right? They're going to sell the quarterback's number.
Yes. Yep.
Right. They're going to sell a whole lot of Conradi stuff.
That's the one.
That's the guy.
Yes. Your kicker is your guy.
Your kicker's your guy. He's the one. I mean, no offense, Carson Willich. Right. Or Zamir Hawk.
He's also made a couple of pretty big
Well,
kicks.
no question. No question.
And that also takes it to another level.
Yes.
When you beat your rival
Yeah.
and you do it twice in back-to-back seasons, that elevates things also.
So, but how many teams, whether it be NFL or college football teams, that the kicker's jersey outsells everybody else's?
It's a rarity. I don't think Nate Kading was outselling Brad Banks.
No.
Or Dallas Clark.
Right.
But that was also a different era, too.
Now, Shaggy would have sold a lot of gear after 15-13 or after, whatever. It was 15-13, right? Yeah, it was. But it's just so different. It's so different.
One thing I was reading a preview yesterday. It was Bruce Feldman. He came up with his updated now post-spring into summer top 25. There's one for June. And I was just kind of skimming through, and he had like 8 guys listed, newbies, new faces, transfers that are coming in. Do you know where Jontez Williams ended up?
No.
I just must have lost track of this because I was shocked. Because, everyone went to Penn State, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it was just kind of out of sight, out of mind because of that. He's at USC.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think he had USC pretty high, maybe 11th, 12th, something like that. But as I was going through, I remember that guy. I heard of that guy. Oh, that's a good addition. That'll fit out real well at USC. And the last guy listed, Jontez Williams. Didn't even remember.
Yeah.
You missed that one too.
I did.
I was not alone. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Huh.
That'll be a good fit out there.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's so different. The other thing I want to get to, just touch on this real quick, and I hope this is real. Well, I hope it's not real, but I hope it's real because I'm about to put it up on the air.
Okay.
Right. And I didn't get sucked in.
We've been here a few times throughout the 30 years.
Yeah. Did you see the I don't know if it's template. I don't know if it's set in stone. Do you see the potential for the Missouri Valley Conference tournament with the basketball tournament? Is that true that they really are about to make this colossal of a mistake and change this tournament, the fabric of this tournament at its core? What are we thinking?
Absolutely. I saw the same thing. First, I saw the initial tweet, and then a couple hours later, I saw Michael Admire, who, of course, is the radio voice of Drake, saying that this was, yes, part of the conversation of what they're potentially going to do. So if you missed it, going to go from your traditional bracket, a conference tournament bracket, the way that a bracket is supposed to be and is supposed to look. You did that. There are talking about doing this. Not everybody's going to make the conference tournament.
Only top 10.
Only the top 10 make it. The number 1 and 2 seeds receive a bye into the
double bye.
So this is what we've seen the West Coast Conference do, protecting Gonzaga.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, Trent. They do. They do. And St. Mary's most years.
Yes. A lot of mid-major conferences are going this direction to try to protect, and with it, get your best team to the NCAA tournament.
Or does this now, with the expanded tournament, open up a door for your second best team, theoretically?
And maybe this would have been something before the expansion I could have been talked into a little bit more. I just love the symmetry of Arch Madness.
I do too. It's such a fun tournament.
It's set up beautifully. It works incredibly well. Yes, we've seen upsets. Yes, we've seen good teams get knocked off, including this past season with Belmont, who was a very good team. And see one of their guys now that's going to be playing at Duke next season. That was a really good team. In the 76-team environment, though, they still would have got in. The UNI team that lost to Drake in the quarterfinals still would have got in. Now, that was also the 2020 season. We didn't have a tournament, but I don't love it. Is it?
No, when you put it that way, Trent, I'm not as down on it as I was because I just love I like the way it was set up.
And they didn't do it the Sun Belt's way. Remember that goofy thing?
No.
Where you had the team that had to win 6 games in 6 days and they got all the way to the championship. Don't do that ladder.
No,
that ladder concept, it's unfair.
It's too taxing.
Yes.
It's too taxing.
But to protect your top team or 2 teams in this scenario,
it's all about the money.
I get it. And you want to have your best teams there because with it, when you win a game in the NCAA tournament, what happens? You get more shares. That is win shares. That is money that is coming into the conference.
Yeah. So is this going to happen?
Nothing official.
I'd be surprised now the way you put it out there. I think it's going to happen.
And reading Admire what he had to say, big part of the conversation. I think we're trending that direction. I would say the betting favorite right now is we're going to see a different type of conference tournament bracket for Arch Madness. I also like the idea of having both the men's and women's tournaments the same weekend.
Yep. Yeah, now, the women really get. Where do they play? Over in the Quad Cities.
They were in the Quad Cities for a while. I think Coralville maybe had
it. And it's the following week. The men are first, and then the women.
Yes, putting them there at the same time. It's a good thing. A couple different buildings. For years, they had it in St. Charles.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So same area. You want to go to both games, you're able to do that. I think that'd be a good thing too. Probably the right thing to do if you're trying to protect the top.
We'll take time out. We'll come back. We'll talk to Dick Girardi. We've spoken with Dick before the Derby. Likewise, for the Preakness. Triple Crown comes to an end this weekend with the Belmont Stakes, 1.25 miles at Saratoga for the final time before Belmont opens back up. We'll take a time out. We'll come back and talk a little horse racing Belmont style with Dick Girardi next. Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
That was so good! Start your day off right with the first quarter with Heather Burnside and Alec Bussey. Weekdays from 6 to 9 on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Again, there's just something special about the NBA Finals, and this one should be real good. The NBA Finals are in full swing, and the intensity isn't letting up. And with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, your winnings get a boost every single day, all finals long. Bet player props, bet live from the opening tip to the final possession. Every bucket, every dime, every clutch takeover matters. And DraftKings Sportsbook keeps boosting you all the way through. All DraftKings customers can enjoy a profit boost every single day throughout the finals. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KXNO to claim your profit boost. That's code KXNO to get a boost every day of the NBA Finals. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. 21 plus, Iowa only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. One profit boost per customer per day. NBA playoff bets only. Bet restrictions apply and vary when offered. Max bet and boost vary. Boost only applies to winnings and expires at the end of the last NBA game each day. See terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promo.
48 countries.
Only one winner.
iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Live. Every unforgettable moment wherever you are. Lock in your preset now on the free iHeartRadio app.
The world will be listening.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
At Golden Rule Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, we are your trusted partner in all electrical needs. Did you know as a $99 Gold Club member, we always come to your home for free? Whether it's an emergency or you just want to have a conversation, we always come out for free. Wish you had dimmer switches, more outlets, can lights, or ceiling fans? The $99 Gold Club membership. Go to goldenrollphc.com.
We obey the rules to live by. Golden Rule, plumbing, heating, and cooling.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
Guilty, erroneous, sustained.
Are you just saying random words?
Don't settle for just any insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Remember how you felt when you were 25? Your morning workouts were a breeze. You had a drive that kicked in way before your first cup of coffee. Does it feel like you're losing your edge? You know, it might not be your age. It could be low testosterone. At Mentality, we'll get to the bottom of what's really going on and build a personalized plan using testosterone replacement and peptide therapies to help restore your energy, focus, and drive. Get back to being the guy you used to be. Book your appointment with Mentality at lowtusa.com. Again, that's lowtusa.com.
Are you thinking about what's next for you professionally? Whether you're looking to move up, switch fields, or finally finish that degree, the University of Maryland Global Campus has your back. Explore more than 135 degrees and certificates to arm you with the skills for today's job market. Affordable, online, and built for working adults. UMGC offers programs that help you build lasting skills in leadership, communication, critical thinking, and more. Classes start June 10th, so go to umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu.
At the Chicken Coop, we're starting from scratch. That's right. We're dropping some new recipes along with your favorites, and they're all made from scratch.
Boneless wings and chicken tenders made from scratch when you order.
Get your spice on with our new Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
Or our new buffalo chicken sandwich.
Both made from scratch.
Don't forget our wings, made with 12 different sauces that are, you guessed it, made from scratch.
The Chicken Coop has the best chicken and is made from scratch in our kitchen.
Stop in or order online today.
At home,
at work, at the grocery store. No matter where you go, are bills on your mind? Consolidate them with a home equity line of credit at 5.99% APR at Community Choice Credit Union. Visit unbankyourbills.com today. Loans subject to credit approval and analysis. See credit union for details.
Ken Miller, Trent Condon, Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
All right, Miller and Condon, welcome back, Iowa Sports Radio Network. Scott Agnes kicks off hour number 2, covers the Fever. Well, he did till he lost his credential, and then we'll talk to Bill Benner from the Sporting News. Let's talk Belmont Stakes. Our guy Dick Girardi joins us, betonline.ag. We're down to the final jewel, Dick Girardi. Are you, in a way, as I am, kind of glad there is no Triple Crown on the line? Because you know how the skeptics in the now needs an asterisk, never be the same. It's not a true Triple Crown, blah, blah, blah. You know, we would have been inundated with that take, Dick.
Yeah, we would have been. I'd still rather get a Triple Crown on the line just so we could hear all the whiners whine. But it was fine. I'm good with what we have. And, boy, these days it's going to be harder and harder, right, until we change the damn schedule here.
And so when is that going to happen? Are you in the camp that it's within the next couple of weeks, certainly by the end of the Churchill meet, they will have shared their secret as to what they're going, because they're going to change it. I'm convinced of that. How quickly do you think we'll know?
Yeah, I wish I could answer that question. I think we probably talked about this before, but I think a lot of it has to do with when the television contract is finalized, right? Yeah. Who's going to be televising the Preakness in 2027? For the people that don't know, NBC's contract is up. They're interested. I believe Fox is interested as well. So I think once that's settled, I think we're going to have a better idea of how this is going to play out. But if I told you I knew when that was going to be settled, I'd be making it up. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Dick is the simplest solution. I think the one that I've heard bandied about the most. You have obviously Derby stays the same. First Saturday in May, then you go first Saturday in June, first Saturday in July. Just simplified as much as that, in a way you go with the Triple Crown.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the obvious solution. Hopefully that happens soon, because we've all been just waiting. It seems like we're, 10 years now, because we all could see what was about to happen with no Derby winner in the Preakness regularly. So, yeah, I'm hoping soon, but we do move a little slowly in this game.
Yes, we do. That's for certain. So Renegade is the overwhelming favorite with all the trouble he had. He drew the one post position. We know what happened. Thought he was going to get there, and all of a sudden, here comes Golden Tempo to run by him in the shadow of the wire. Renegade is going to be an incredibly short price. Overwhelming favorite, in my opinion. He's the morning line favorite. Is he head and shoulders, Dick, or will you try to beat him?
No, I don't think he's head and shoulders. I do think he should be favored. I think he's the logical winner. I mean, if you think the history of the race now, with the understanding that we're at Saratoga, not at a mile and a half, it's Todd Pletcher's won the race 4 times. He's been second 9 times. And his horses that win are the horses that run in the Derby, skip the Preakness, win the Belmont. So Renegade has all that going for him. He's already proved he's a good horse. Golden Tempo at the moment is still pretty much of an unknown. He won the Derby, deserved to win, phenomenal training job by Cherie DeVaux, but only a 95 buyer figure. So we just don't know if that was the performance that he's going to be able to do every time. Whereas Renegade has shown it a number now, other than his first race, which I think he put a line to, is sprinting at Saratoga. He's been first or second every time out.
You mentioned Golden Tempo, and with the DeVaux, the press release came out very quickly after the Derby, not going to be running in the Second Crown. Didn't seem like nearly as much pushback as what we see in the past. Is it just that everybody is resigned to the fact that this is our new reality? Is that why maybe DeVaux didn't get quite the same kind of ammunition that we've seen some other trainers in the past get?
Yeah, no, it's a great point. I think that's right. I think we've almost just become used to it, unfortunately. And I don't want to get used to it, but at the moment we are used to it. And yeah, it's really, really unfortunate that it's happening this way. But again, we got to deal with it. And hopefully, as we're just talking about, it will change and hope. I would think we're going to learn something over the summer. At least that would be my guess, but to be determined on that.
As the race goes at 6 o'clock our time, Central Time, Parade Meadows will run a couple of races, then break, and then air the Belmont to pick up our live card. I bet emerging market in the Derby, Dick. That was my play. I was convinced he was going to win. Then I come to find out, and I didn't know this right after the race, apparently he threw a shoe at some point during the race. I don't know how you can, point to that and say, well, that's why he lost definitively. I mean, it can't help. You're supposed to wear 4 shoes. He had 3. I'm going to come back to him just because I think he's a better horse. I really do than he showed on Derby Day. Are you on emerging market at all?
I'm not suggesting that he can't win because I certainly think he can. And look, the connections that's the top, as you know, trainer jockey combo in the country right now, Chad Brown and Flavia Pratt. So, yeah, and I watched the race. I think he was probably maybe a little closer than they wanted to be under the circumstances.
Yep.
And yet, as Chad said, look, you can't say exactly how it mattered, but it doesn't help that he came back with 3 shoes. That's not normally something you see in a winter circle. Horses with 3 shoes, and he's at 27-4 at Bet Online, 10-1 on the morning line. If you can get that price on those 2. That's going to feel pretty comfortable. But I would say this really about the top 5 out of the Derby, right? I mean, he's the one that finished 10. Commandment, I thought of all the trips in the race, I actually thought he had the kind of strangest one, and not in a good way. The Florida Derby winner. In fact, they were so upset with Luis Saez, they're taking him off and putting John Velasquez on. He's actually a horse I think is going to run better than his price.
do too.
I mean, when did he run a bad race before the Derby? The answer is never.
Yep.
And it was just kind of, he was in, he was up. It was just a weird kind of a race. It wasn't like a disaster, but it just, you want things to go right in the Derby. Like they really went right for the Golden Tempo. Like normally you would say, wait a second, this horse is 25 lengths behind. That ain't good. Well, that would turn out to be the place to be. The last move won. And this isn't going to be a race like that at all. There's no pace at all. I mean, it's even not clear to me who's going to be in front. I guess Power Shift will be, but there's others that could be if the jockeys are so inclined. And I find that part really absolutely fascinating. Like, how is this race going to be run? And that often depends. You guys often decides who wins.
We've got 60 seconds left. Who will you play? And then give me one prop at betonline.ag. You guys usually have one head-to-head or something. What have you got, and who do you like?
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually like the 2. I think that Power Shift is the other Pletcher nobody's going to pay attention to, and I think he's got a really good chance to get loose on the lead. I like the 7 Commandment, so at 2-7 exacta. And my prop at Bet Online, I think I gave this to you at the Preakness. Remember, I was saying over 155 was like a cinch. I think over 201.5 for the mile and a quarter is also a cinch. Yeah. I just don't think this is a particularly fast group, right? 95 buyer figure. I like over the time that's posted at Bet Online.
Well done, Dick Girardi. Thanks for doing this. As always, enjoy the Belmont. We appreciate what you do. Thanks, Dick.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, good to talk to you. Dick Girardi, betonline.ag, and I agree with him on the time. And I also like his Power Shift horse as well.
I had that one with a little star next to it, yes.
All right.
Plus, my high school baseball number was 2, so that's also a part of how I bet on horses.
You know what? There's no foolproof method.
No.
Do what you have fun with, whatever it takes. All right, Scott Agnes next. Bill Benner, bottom of the hour. Trent's plays of the day. Hour 2, Miller and Condon next on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Quick question. Want to go to Vegas with KXNO? We're giving away the Circa Silver Anniversary Experience. Flights, Circa Hotel, food money, stadium swim, sportsbook VIP access, and nights out with the KXNO crew. All for one lucky winner and a guest. And 5 more winners still get the Vegas hookup. You've got until June 28th to enter. Don't hear about it later. Be there. Only from KXNO and Circa.
Sign up now at KXNO.com.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-IHEART.
Do you have neuropathy? Are you experiencing numbness, tingling, and pain that just won't stop? Are you taking dangerous drugs that have serious side effects and never fix the pain? Neuropathy is a serious progressive condition that only gets worse if not treated properly. If not treated, it could result in confinement to a walker, wheelchair, or even amputation. Call Vero Neuropathy at 515-789-VERO. VERO for your $37 neuropathy evaluation. There are no drugs, exercises, or surgeries that can heal damaged nerves. Don't wait until your condition gets worse and stops you from living your life. Vero Neuropathy has time-tested, proven track record of helping hundreds of patients improve their neuropathy symptoms. If you're ready to regain your independence, contact Vero Neuropathy at 515-789-VERO. Call now for your $37 neuropathy evaluation and receive a personal treatment plan that is tailored to your needs. Call 515-789-VERO. That's 8367. Don't suffer anymore.
If you're thinking about upgrading your HVAC system, Green's Appliance Heating and Cooling is turning up the value. For a limited time, when you purchase a new qualifying HVAC system, you'll receive a free water heater included. That means improved comfort, better efficiency, and dependable hot water, all in one smart upgrade. Professional installation, trusted local technicians, and comfort you can count on. Don't miss this limited time offer. Call Greens today or schedule online at greensahc.com.
Hey guys, it's us, the Jonas Brothers. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Nick. And guess what? We created our own podcast.
And it's called Hey Jonas.
Listen to Hey Jonas on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
June 4th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is back with no gloves, no excuses, just raw smash mouth action. In the main event, a man who lives to fight, Julian Let Me Bang Lane, goes face-to-face with the undefeated Bryce Baba Yaga Henry. In the co-main event, Gogo Slaveski fights Johnny El Toro Tello in a bare-knuckle war. June 4th, don't miss what everybody's talking about. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Watch live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. What are your rights and responsibilities? Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-IHEART.
Join us this Friday and Saturday, June 5th and 6th for the Spring Open House at Big Barn Harley-Davidson. Manufacturer reps will be on site, including Saddleman, Top Performance, and Rockford Fosgate. Extended store hours Saturdays make to 5 with free lunch provided by Smokey D's and motorcycle stunt shows featuring Harley-Davidson baggers at 11, 1, and 3. Check out our selection of over 200 new pre-owned and certified pre-owned Harley-Davidsons. And take advantage of 2025 model year-end value-added promotions. Pick from a free Stage 1 upgrade, free scheduled maintenance plan, or free extended service plan. No money down and interest rates as low as 2.99% with approved credit. And $1,000 trade assistance on select new 2025 Cruiser and Street Glide models. At Big Barn Harley-Davidson, you get a free lifetime powertrain warranty with the purchase of any new or qualifying pre-owned Harley-Davidson. Great specials on aftermarket parts and licensed products with manufacturer reps on site. And motorcycle stunt shows performing Saturday. Life is what you make it, and we make it one hell of a ride. The Spring Open House this Friday and Saturday at Big Barn Harley-Davidson, I-80 at 2nd Avenue in Des Moines.
Maybe you're thinking about franchising your business or purchasing a franchise. There's an experienced and trustworthy franchise lawyer right in your backyard. Don't waste your time or money searching for a lawyer out of state when Rush Niggett is here and ready to help your business.
Hi, I'm Rush. I've specialized in business and franchise law for the past 25 years. I don't just want to be your lawyer. I want your business to succeed as much as you do.
Your business needs Rush. Visit his award-winning blog at rushonbusiness.com. It's good to have Rush on your side.
KXNO AM Des Moines, KXNO FM Ankeny, KKDM HD2 Des Moines. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports talk, and podcasts. Guaranteed human.
Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO is sponsored by TC Sports LLC.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. For much of Game 1, it looked like the Spurs had a firm grip on the NBA Finals opener. San Antonio controlling the tempo, built a 14-point lead, and then Jalen Brunson did what Jalen Brunson does. He took over late. The Knicks searching for answers in the fourth quarter. Brunson poured in 13 and completely flipped the game. What looked like a Spurs victory suddenly became a New York comeback. At this point, it's no longer surprising. The Knicks captain has been their greatest weapon throughout the playoffs. When games tighten late in the fourth, New York knows exactly where to turn. Through the 2026 postseason, Brunson has shot 59% from the floor, better than 60% from three-point range in the fourth quarter. Every championship contender needs a safety net when things start to unravel. For the New York Knicks, that safety net is Jalen Brunson. And in Game 1, his brilliance was the difference. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance. Scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals. But Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really start to come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that helps you keep what matters most, money. No hassle, just confidence that your coverage is customized with savings in mind. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent. LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. They can't stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m., though. They can help you sell, they can help you market, and they can help you hire in one place. They cannot help you be in 3 places at one time, though. And while they can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business at LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/Dan Patrick Show.
Congratulations to KXNO on their silver anniversary and 25 years on the air in Iowa, being the home of sports talk radio.
We're giving you a chance to experience everything Circa has to offer with a trip along with your favorite KXNO personalities.
The next KXNO Silver Ticket Tour will bring you to Las Vegas and Circa for 4 days, 3 nights. Go to KXNO.com to sign up and have a chance to experience Circa with KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
And we hope to see you soon at Circa.
Live from the TNT Landscaping and Nursery Studios, you're listening to 106.3 KXNO. 106.3 KXNO. Ken Miller and Trent Condon. It's Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Hour number 2, welcome back. Miller and Condon, Iowa Sports Radio Network. Trent Condon, Ken Miller with you until just before 2 o'clock. Bill Benner from the Sporting News. Catch up with Bill at about 1:30. Trent's Plays of the Day. Circa Sports sponsor those. That's coming up here at about 10 minutes or so before 2 o'clock. Scott Agnes has joined us over the last couple of years to talk WNBN, in particular, the Indiana Fever, and he's back with us. Fever tonight take on Atlanta. What's a pretty big game. Atlanta doing very well this year. Indiana trying to catch up with them in the standings. And Scott, at least as it stands now, correct me if I'm wrong, you will not be in the building. How are you, Scott Agnes?
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. No, that's right. Unfortunately, I've everything I reported was 100% accurate.
Yep.
They can disagree to like it, but in the meanwhile, I will be on the sidelines following along from afar in the meantime.
You know, it's not like we talked about this beginning of the show when we were going over who's coming on today, and we got to you. And it's not like you're Johnny come lately, right? It's not like you just jumped on the bandwagon when Caitlin got there, as a lot of people have. Like I raised my hand. You've been there since day one when nobody cared about this team, when they were starving for publicity. You were there doing all those press conferences, those media days. How soon they forget, Scott? I mean, and of all the things,
yeah.
You reported the truth, and this is the spot that they yanked your credential. I'll never understand it. It's this league. They just cannot get out of their own way.
Yeah, there's a lot there. First of all, yeah, in terms of my longevity and being around this team, absolutely. I was there in the 2015 finals when Stephanie White was head coach and the team was in the WNBA finals the last time. Like so quickly people forget there was like a 4-year period, like 2019 to 2022, when they would win 5 games annually. And they were the losingest franchise in all of pro sports here in the United States. And I was not there every single day like I am now because the interest level wasn't close to that. And right, we also have to follow along with what fans want to read and what they want to consume. But anything major, all the changes through all these years, you would think being there, doing the work, not just matters now, but over time. And unfortunately, it almost, I think, works against me here because they don't want somebody that's been around them and that knows people and that is willing to do the work.
It's a baffling decision from the Fever. And very simply, as you look back upon it, is it just the phrasing that was used? You didn't use the phrase load management because for whatever reason, both the W and in the NBA, they hate that term inside, though we all use it.
Yeah.
Is it just as simple as the phrasing that you use when Caitlin did not play in that game? Is that the thing that upset them? And that's why eventually the credential was revoked?
I think so. Again, I don't have a complete clarity on it, but they continued to cite the tweet, which is also dangerous here. Like, why are we limiting to the brief window of just that, right? It should be about what you reported. And what I reported was much more than just a tweet. You go inside the story there. And what did I emphasize to fans? Caitlin is healthy. There is no great concern here, right? And that this is just part of the management plan that dates back and is reflective of what she experienced last year. And what did we hear in the days following? Stephanie White said she's healthy. Caitlin said, no, I don't think this is any concern. It's just something I'm dealing with. Dealing with and being on the injury report now for 4 straight games would be something that you are managing. So yes, the only thing that I think they're taking issue with is strategic management plan that I referenced in the tweet, because in their minds that's premeditated, that this was designed 2 months ago and they didn't tell fans that. No, that's not at all what I was suggesting there. It's having the big picture, that big vision in mind, which is totally acceptable. It's also, by the way, something that the team has been emphasizing for all their players, that, hey, it's not about the short term, it's about the long term. So to me, sure, take issue with that one word within there, but go deep inside of the intention and the story there, and I don't know what you find wrong with it.
And this was a home game for them, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So
it was before a home game.
Here's my question. Do they have obviously a financial interest in the tickets, but do they control the tickets that season ticket holders give back or can't use and want a credit for their account? And where I'm going with this is if there's a financial interest for them not to let this out. Well, Caitlin's not playing this game. I don't know why you're spending $300 to bring the family. She's not playing, but we're just going to keep this to ourselves because we want to get rid of some of these tickets. Do they have a financial interest in the fact that they control the tickets that are turned back in pregame?
Well, you can't turn back tickets in pregame. No one's doing that. Maybe if you can't make it to the game, you could list it for resale or something.
But do they
like that.
control the resale? Because a lot of leagues do that now.
I can't say I'm 100% sure. I believe it would be through a ticket broker, your Ticketmasters, your StubHub.
Okay.
But they would not have a vested interest. But I get what you're getting at there. And I think maybe it speaks to a general thing here. If I go back to that word plan within there, I think what they could be concerned about here is, okay, does a fan think we plan to sit her on another future date, therefore I don't want to buy future tickets? I could see the concern there, but that's not at all what I said either.
Right.
And I didn't discredit the fact that this was something that happened last minute. That was absolutely true.
Yeah.
It's just part of the larger, maybe approach was the better word. It's the larger approach here that they are not going to put her out there if she's not completely set, comfortable, confident in being out there again.
Yeah, normally my mind would go to the gambling aspect of it. I mean, if the numbers up there all day.
That's why you need the transparency.
Sure, you do.
That's why, by the way, in fact, earlier that day, the WNBA had sent out a media advisory to everyone across that covers the league, sharing this new injury database, this new injury updates. It's nothing new in the NBA. I think they've been doing it a year or two, but it was new in the WNBA, which is updated every 15 minutes. Well, we were alerted about the Fever going from an entirely clean injury report to Caitlin being added on it, not just added, but ruled out at 5:20. Well, it's due by 5 o'clock at the latest. And throughout the day, if there are changes, it should be updated. Well, she wasn't on that injury report until 5:30. And so that's why not being on that 5 o'clock injury report and updating it when you might have an idea that there is some question. That's why you have those terms, right? Probable, questionable, doubtful. just to be as transparent as you can within reason. Things change. We all understand that, right? Sometimes you will see a player a last minute scratch. They got a stomach bug and just can't go out there. But that's why, for example, you saw that warning from the league about how they handled it, which further confirmed what I had reported, by the way.
This also goes a step further because you obviously cover the Pacers, and covering the Pacers, you've also run into set. Well, the Fever and the Pacers are owned by the same management ownership group. Do you see a connection there? Is there just somebody that doesn't like you and you know who that person is? As you think through this and the way this has gone, and now a second team that you're going through, is there somebody that you can point to? You have to say their name, but you know where this is probably coming from?
With Fever, this was totally blindsided. Okay. I was stunned by it, even to the fact that there was no warning, or you must delete this, or you must issue this, or else, or there was nothing like that. It was, you had a disagreement, which, by the way, as you guys know, not often, will occasionally happen in sports media, right? About something you say or something you put out, and all those things. That happens. And actually, that's a good thing. It means we're doing our jobs and not just sitting back, right? Now, on the Pacers side, it makes zero sense. It does feel like there's something personal with an individual or two. I don't know that for a fact, but there is no credence to anything they're doing, nor will they even explain to me with a valid reasoning what it is. So I think that's a separate issue and something that I definitely wanted to include within it, but I didn't immediately make those two connections because it is two separate coaching staffs, two separate PR staffs, and two very different teams.
Scott Agnes, fieldhousefiles.com joins us. Scott, you don't have to say names again. Have any of the Fever players reached out to you at all since this has happened?
No, I have not heard from any of that. I will note, though, that since the leagues and the Players Association agreed to close locker rooms, there's a lot less interaction between players and media other than those scrums that you probably have seen. I think that has built a barrier that is actually not fortuitous and not helpful for media or for players for many different reasons. But it's led to less personal relationships with all of that.
Scott, big picture. Ken and I are two knuckleheads with microphones. We are not journalists. We are not anything close to it, but I see what has happened to journalism. Certainly, it feels like over the last 15, 20, 25 years, and feels like it even accelerates more. What you do now, with your Substack, and things have changed and evolved. But when something like this happens for a basketball team, access is denied for somebody covering the team, and you look at it in the big picture world, just fill us in as a journalist, because it's something that I've never been a beat reporter. I've never done what you do, which is really the hard part of actual covering a sports team. And when you look at a big picture, just your takeaway.
Yeah, number one, you're mentioning 10 and 15 years. I'm mentioning a week or two, right? Like Yahoo Sports announced some layoffs. I think it was SI. Yeah, SI. They got rid of their golf publication and many others within that. I don't like where any of this is in general headed. One, because jobs are shrinking. Those that have jobs are probably getting pay cuts, and it's just not good. That's why individuals like me have gone at it by ourselves, because what does it bring? It brings stability, and there's a great value in that. I mean, one thing a lot of these leagues talk about is having editors and things like that. And don't get me wrong, that is great. But guess what? I would guarantee many of the publications that you read don't have as many editors as they used to have, and aren't regularly checked like they used to. And that's because of job cuts. That's because of money, all that. So those are the great concerns I have for the industry. And as it relates to especially independents too, I mean, I have great concern that this could happen as easily as in Iowa, as it does in Dallas, as it does in Seattle, right? Like, what would stop the next team from doing this? Because to me, this is a dangerous precedent that someone sees, hey, he was onto something, let's just keep him out. Well, we'll do the same with our reporter or something like that, which is not what any of us need. Anybody that knows me or sees my work sees that the majority of what I'm doing actually is shining a spotlight on what the players are doing, whether it's Caitlin Clark and a new sponsorship, or Lexi Hall and launching her own personal makeup line, the Fever adding a new sponsorship. the thing I took pride in and still take pride in is my well-rounded coverage, and not just the teams and the players and their personalities, but what they're doing and how fans can remain connected with them, because the connection is everything in this disjointed, kind of media era, if you will.
You're right. I mean, we had you on 2 or 3 weeks before this happened, and the national perspective. Oh, Stephanie White and Caitlin hate each other. They can't stand each other. So we asked you that question.
That could be furthest from the truth,
right? And that's how you answered it. If you did have an agenda, you wouldn't have been so forthright in your answer. But just remarkable to me. How about the fact that has this surprised you? I saw this story, was it Tuesday night, Monday night, whenever it happened, and it really gained momentum over the next 36 hours. A lot of people coming to your defense. Have you been surprised the shelf life that this story has had when it first hit the social media channels and to where it's at today? I mean, it's been unbelievable, Scott. It really has.
Yeah, I definitely think I'm a little bit surprised, but it also entails a lot of different important things. Let's go number one. It's the most popular team in the league in the Fever, and every game of theirs is on national TV. The face of the league and a global superstar of Caitlin Clark is on that team, and it actually involves her reporting. I dislike for her that her name keeps being put into it because of this isolated story, but that's just how it is with any kind of major player like this. And then it's a freedom of the right? So there's a lot of my media colleagues, going back to what we were just discussing, is the frustration. And we all know who does the work. We all know who we can trust and such. And I have not been at this just 2 years, and I'm not doing the lazy takes or the hot takes or speculating in leading or adding fire to conspiracy theories. My whole point in all of this, guys, actually was to squash any concern. Is to make sure fans, especially Fever and Caitlin, guys, she's good. This is just something that's part of the process. She'll be okay. She's healthy. It's not a new injury. She's not going to be out for 2 months. That's what I was doing with trying to be a measured approach in sourced reporting. And for whatever reason, they just didn't like it.
Last thing for me on the floor. And Scott, when you look at Caitlin, we're in year number 3 now. Expectations. I know in this state, she's going to walk in there and set this thing on fire. And Ken and I walked in after that first regular season game against Connecticut and said, okay, this is going to be a little more difficult, I think, than maybe us in here in the state of Iowa thought. When you look at her today, the vision is still incredible, but she's not an uber athlete in comparison to some of the defenders that go up against her. Do we need to recalibrate what we think about her as a WNBA player, NBA player? She can still be incredible. She can still maybe even become the best player in this league, but where we thought she was going to come in, average 28 a game, knock down 8 triples, and have 11 assists. Is this league just too good for maybe that kind of thought process for Caitlin going forward, even if she does hit her apex?
Well, for one, no, I would not temper expectations or put her out of any of. No, she is a top 5 player in the WNBA then and now. Remember, she was Rookie of the Year, all but 1 vote, which I still don't understand. She was a top 5 MVP voter. And she is a difference maker on the court, no matter what she's doing. And the thing I like most is it can be scoring, but more than anything, I think it's her passing. And that was the thought process for me and others coming into the league as well. Here is we know her for the logo threes. That's the entertainment part of it. But just wait for the passing. I see no reason she can't average 10 assists per game. And yeah, I think her points will fluctuate with some. Now, I don't expect like this last game, which, by the way, might have been one of the worst Fever games I've seen in recent history. And so I don't think that's the norm. Let's throw that one out. Let's see how they play tonight. Let's see how they play in the next week and with they come together and such. What I think the biggest thing she's facing right now is what I've noticed is especially 2 of the newest coaches in the league, not just to their teams within the league in Dallas and as well as in Portland. They're really trying to ISO her, put her one-on-one on defense and see how the team reacts. And she had some issues with that, and her teammates did as well. I think there's blame to go all around, and I think that's why it was so important for the team to get together and have a long meeting, as they referenced a couple days ago, and get on the same page. What do they need to do when I'm in this? They were just disjointed, disconnected more than I've probably ever seen before. But by no means do I temper expectations of what to expect, and that she is one of the best players in the league, in addition to being the most popular player in the league.
Most marketable by a long shot. Fieldhousefiles.com, fieldhousefiles.com. Scott, we hope it has a happy ending for your sake. Really do. Well done. And don't give up. Keep fighting, and I hope that there is some resolution. I'd love to see you walk into the building tonight. Scott Agnes. Scott, thanks for popping on. We appreciate what you've done for us over the last couple of years. Great to get to know you, and thanks for giving us a few minutes here today. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, you're welcome. Always enjoy the conversations. Thanks, guys.
Yep, good to talk to you. Scott Agnes, fieldhousefiles.com, fieldhousefiles.com for Scott. You going to get back in? Eventually?
I hope so. This is when you have...
It's such a non-thing.
Right. He reported the truth.
Yes.
It's just to get upset about phrasing. Like, what are we doing here?
He didn't rip the... Yeah, Caitlin hates Stephanie White. He didn't say that.
No, that's not what this is.
Complete opposite. And all the national media they believe that. They saw the little set to in Portland. That just fueled their fire. And Scott said, no. There's just two competitors.
Spreading inaccurate and unsubstantiated information. That is
what it was true.
Right. And you have somebody that's actually doing real reporting, doing the real job, and then you race off to social media and you see the garbage, the filth that is on X and Facebook and all the other places that that's not people covering. It's just people with opinions that don't know their ass from their elbow. And that's what we get. And we're okay with that. That's no problem. But somebody that is actually being a reporter, being a journalist, doing the hard things. We have the easy job, Ken.
Yes.
We have the easy question. And we can be dead wrong, and we are dead wrong.
Absolutely.
Often. But it's because we're not reporting. That stuff is hard. That is the difficult part. I am incredibly frustrated with this story.
Yeah. I hope it works out for him. I do. I mean, this guy has been there since from the jump, for crying out loud. I'm guessing he was probably the longest serving media member that covered the Fever all those years. You know, newspaper guys they've likely come and gone, unfortunately, probably not of their own volition. They're probably pushed. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Rooting for Scott Agnes to get that credential back and make some money. Because he doesn't work for a paper. He works for himself. He works for his Substack. I hope he got a bunch of subscribers out of it. I mean, I don't know if he did or not, but he certainly got a ton of publicity out of the whole thing. And a lot of people... Christine Brennan, maybe as big a name as any, certainly on Scott's side, and hoping that it comes back around. All right, we're going to talk to Bill Bender coming up. A lot of topics to get to with Bill. Look forward to doing that. Trent will make some plays before we get out of here. Let me see. Is the Brewers game, Trent?
Underway.
It's just underway. And it's 3-0 San Fran.
Oh, no.
Uh-huh. And the sacks are packed.
Look out.
Yeah, 2-0. They've already put a 3 spot on. Who started for the Brewers today? Coleman Crow?
Hey, that sounds made up. That's not a real person, is it? Coleman Crow?
This had to be a bullpen game. Or is this guy just up for the minors?
Yeah, he started a couple of times. He went 4 innings his last time out against Houston, went 5 against my Twinkies back on May 15th.
All right.
So not a long starter, but yeah, some bullpen work also. Probably, we're going to get a short start out of Coleman Crow. And
a really short start.
Going to be a really short one. And that big bet that we found at Unjuiced, somebody is a little nervous in ending in.
He bet. So this cat, Unjuiced didn't promote this bet.
No,
they just reported this bet.
Yes, just tells you where the big bets are coming from and who bet on what.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it? 38,000?
35, something, 30 something.
Now, if that's your bankroll,
you're okay. Yeah, you can afford to lose a few of them.
Yes.
In all likelihood.
You're not going to win them all.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you're betting $20 or you're betting $20,000. You're not going to win them all.
125. Bill Bender next. Miller and Condon, Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, and competitive betting menus. Download, fund, and bet from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com. Must be over 21 and present in Iowa to bet. Have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
This June, the Legends of Golf return to Des Moines. The 2026 Principal Charity Classic at Wakanda Club, June 10th through 14th, where legends of the game compete and every swing helps support Iowa youth. Bring the whole family. Tickets start at just $25 and kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets now at principalcharityclassic.com. The Principal Charity Classic, because out here, it's more than golf.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword music to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard message and data rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's music to 200-200.
KXNO.com.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
This September, coming back to Las Vegas, streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Tickets go on sale Friday, June 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific through AXS.com.
But starting Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet?
NBA Finals, Trent, the winter sports are coming to an end. DraftKings is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, Iowa. 2 teams left, 1 trophy every possession, every fourth quarter swing, every clutch shot. The DraftKings Sportsbook app is now live in Iowa, so whether you're catching tip-off at home of Game 7 or at a bar, you're in on every minute, every game, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Iowa, the finals are in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with code KXNO, bet $5 and get $200 in rewards guaranteed. That's code KXNO in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. 21 plus, Iowa only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
In Des Moines, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with over 5,000 Chase branches nationwide, we're right beside you, Des Moines. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
When's the last time your mower got some love? Clive Power Equipment's mobile service comes to your driveway and handles it all. Oil change, spark plug, air and fuel filters, full deck clean, blade sharpening, and a complete inspection. Walk behinds, riding mowers, 0 turns, we do it all. Right where you park it. No hauling, no drop-offs. Just a mower that's ready to go. Book at ClivePowerEquipment.com or call 515-279-2296. Clive Power Equipment. We come to you.
Yacht Rock Radio on iHeartRadio drops anchor and goes commercial free every weekend. Weekends were made for smooth sailing. Yacht Rock Radio's got the soundtrack. Just sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy. The smoothest soft rock from the 70s and 80s. Open the free iHeart app, search Yacht Rock, and set sail.
iHeartRadio.
Ken and Trent are back in 60 seconds, right here on 106.3 KXNO.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
song just feels like fall, doesn't it?
It does.
It really does. 1:30, Miller and Condon. Welcome back. Iowa Sports Radio Network. Taking you until 2 o'clock. This guy will be busy in the fall. He's busy all the time, busier in the fall when college football rolls around. Bill, I was just, as we like to, well, I won't speak for Trent. I like to live vicariously as to where Bill Bender's going to cover games. I was just trying to figure out where you're going week one. And you know what I've come up with, Bill? You're staying home and you're going to watch week one from your couch and write about it from there. It's not the greatest of slates. Is that the case, Bill? Good to talk to you, by the way.
It's good to hear from you guys. That's probably going to be the case, right? Week 2, we're eyeing Oklahoma, Michigan for sure. That could be a very interesting game there. But, I think week 1, there's still really good games. You know, LSU, Clemson, and a couple as we get into the other windows. But in general, I won't be surprised. I think the only game where you might have 2 ranked teams in week 1 will be Ole Miss and Louisville. And that's not 100%.
Right.
Like, you never know if Louisville will be ranked or not. They should be, but they might not be.
And that's at the same time as Notre Dame, Wisconsin from Lambeau Field, I'm pretty sure, which is unfortunate. But, I mean, we're used to it, right? That happens every week. But with a limited schedule, you'd like to think that maybe they could put them apart a little bit, but that's not going to be the case. What about the game at Lambeau, Bill? Are you convinced? Like, I certainly know I am. I think Carr's a star. I really do. I know they got to place both of their running backs. Are you convinced Notre Dame is an absolute has to be in the conversation when it comes to teams that can win the national championship without a doubt?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're top 6. The 6 schools that I would say you can do that with are Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon. That's 3 in the Big Ten. Georgia and Texas. And then Notre Dame. And then after that, you start to, I mean, Miami, you know, they just got there and they should be good. But I think those top 6 that are in our post-spring top 25 rankings, if you said, like, Ken, if you said Oregon's number 1, we have them 6, I'd probably say, yeah, I can hear that. They've got the talent to do it.
So I don't think we had Indiana in that mix last year. And the depth, Miami, we knew the talent was there, but throughout the course of the season, we didn't even think they're going to be a playoff team until we got to the final rankings of the season. When do you kind of go to that next year, though? How many teams can make a run? How many teams can even get to a semifinal? Is that group deeper than it's been in the past? And more than anything I'm asking, Bill, is we were for so long, there was just a certain amount of teams that could win it all. And even that next tier wasn't quite at that level. Are we getting a little bit of evening out in college football, and teams 1 through 25 are a lot closer together than they were in the past?
I would co-sign that a little bit. I think you guys may have seen Scott Docterman's piece about the he kind of endorsed the 2014 playoff.
He sure did. Yeah.
And the way he presented it, that was part of the case, Trent, that, you know, there's more teams, and Miami made that run, and the top 15 is a little more nebulous now. I agree to a point. I still would rather have a 16 or just stay at 12. But the way Scott did that was very well done. To answer your question, I don't know. I mean, last year was interesting. But the year before, everybody's saying, well, Ohio State was an 8 seed. Ohio State had 25 players drafted the last 2 years. So I'm not like ready to call them Cinderella anytime soon.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, let me follow up on the Indiana conversation. We saw them play Notre Dame on that Friday night. It was a phenomenal football game. Indiana kind of let the country know that we're here. We'll come back and we'll prove it to you next year that we're not a flash in the pan, as we know they did. Can they maintain that, Bill? Obviously, a new quarterback, Hoover. Trent loved him last year in the Big 12. I think he's a fine quarterback. Are you sold on Indiana? I don't want to say not missing a beat, but certainly being one of the teams in the upper echelon. Are you convinced?
Yeah, I mean, we have him number 1, so I think
you must be.
I mean, Hoover has to be not like he can't have turnovers, and I think he will cut down on those. They've got enough pieces back from last year's team on both sides. I mean, yeah, they lose key players. Let's not. You know, Fernando, D'Angelo Pons, Aiden Fisher, some of the cornerstones of that turnaround. But I think they brought in enough talent via the portal and have enough guys back from that national championship team that they should be very good. I mean, you want to talk about a game that you're planning on attending, you circle the one in Bloomington when they play Ohio State.
Huge.
That could be one of the best regular season games in recent memory in the conference.
Yeah, if I'd have told you that 10 years ago, you'd have bought in.
What
5 years
told
ago.
you they haven't beat Ohio State since like 1987 in the regular season, but they did it last year. It really changed everything.
It really did.
Absolutely, as they ran on, and maybe their most difficult game came in Iowa City, but different conversation. So the 2014 playoff, SEC digging in their heels. The ACC is aboard now. The Big 12 is aboard. And of course, the Big 10 has always been on board with that. What is it going to take for the SEC to relent? Is there something that needs to be done, something that the Big 10 has to do in order for this to happen and to make this happen? Or do you believe that this is going to continue and the SEC is not going to push away and they do not want this expansion to happen?
I think they're going to hold out as long as they can, and then we'll go to 24. I mean, and it's unfortunate because I don't love it. But, you'll grow to, embrace it at some point. But, yeah, part of the reason why is if the SEC really had their heels dug in, Trent, I think every coach would have been in lockstep. You almost saw that with the Big Ten at the Big Ten meetings. Like most of these coaches were definitely in support of 24, even, Ryan Day and the loud voices. So, I mean, there's a little bit of division on it between coaches. I think most coaches are going to support it simply from it's more opportunities. You hear job security, those kind of things. I think that could be a myth, though. Just because you make the playoffs doesn't mean you're not going to get fired. And you see that in the NFL all the time.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Bill Bender from the Sporting News. Bill, you mentioned Miami briefly there. What does Mensa do to that team? Third team for him, I think, in the last 3 years. What is Miami legit? They're 15-1 at DraftKings. I would have thought they would have been longer than that, but they're really not. So there's a lot of hurricane love out there. Are they maybe that next tier team that we should pay attention to?
Yeah, I think Mensa's going to have a huge year. I do. I think, the one thing, it's his third team in 3 years, but super successful at Duke with an endorsement deal. Very, very good at Tulane the year before that, and a high TD, low INT ratio. That's what I like. And, you put him with Shannon Dawson, their ability to throw the ball down the field, and Mark Fletcher's back. Like, Miami's going to be pretty good. That's why when I listed those 6 teams earlier, I felt kind of bad about leaving Miami off. I think Mario they have it. I mean, they do lose some guys off the trenches, though, most notably Ruben Bain and CeCe Malagoa. That, those guys aren't going to be easy to replace.
And Malachi Toney's a year older. And he is unbelievable.
That's scary, right?
Yeah, it is.
Like, he's a really good player.
We always fall into, Boise. They made the playoff 2 years ago. Boise's going to be the group of 5, now group of 6. Is there a dark horse? Is there a team a little bit more under the radar? Somebody, when we get our Phil Steele magazine here in a couple of weeks, maybe we need to flip to a little bit earlier than normal. Give me a dark horse outside of the power leagues you like, Bill.
Well, I mean, we do like Boise, and I do enjoy what Dan Mullen's been able to do at UNLV. I think Western Michigan out of the MAC. I mean, the problem with the MAC and the Sun Belt is you probably have to go undefeated or close to, like JMU did last year. So there's some really interesting teams in the G6. But I think Dan Mullen at UNLV becomes really interesting. They lose Calandria. Our pick right now to make playoffs, Boise State, because it's kind of the easy one to make. I mean, what Spencer Danielson's been able to do there and the roster that they have coming back.
Western Michigan, week 1. We've seen Michigan fall early before. Appy State. Wouldn't that be something if Western Michigan? I mean, is it crazy to think, Bill? Are we convinced that Michigan's going to be? We know that we both like Whittingham in this on this program. Are we convinced Michigan's not going to miss a beat?
Well, I think they could go 9-3 again, but they'll feel better about it because last year it was a 9-3 where they played kind of a soft schedule, and then when they played Oklahoma, USC, and Ohio State, they got exposed. I brought up Western Michigan. I still think Michigan wins that opener, and I think Kyle Whittingham will be fine. There's a lot of talk about Bryce Underwood this offseason and varying reports about his progress as a second-year starter. That's the key. What does Jason Beck do to get Bryce Underwood playing at a higher level for the Wolverines?
big picture stuff again from me, Bill. Hear the latest from Congress and what's happening and the back and forth. What do I need to know? Just what does our everyday college football fan need to know about this? Because I read Ross Dellinger's articles every single time, and then I feel like about halfway through, my eyes are rolling back in my head, and I don't know what he's talking about. And then I get through it, and I'm like, I think I have a read, and then I see something else, and maybe my read was completely off. So help me out, because you're studying this, and probably smarter than I am. Well, no doubt about that. So help me out what just every college football fan, everyday college football fan needs to know about what's happening with Congress.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with this act that they're trying to push through. I think there's a lot of good in it. Bavacqua yesterday, Trent was talking about they need to bring sanity back to the portal and roster management and eligibility. And I agree with all of those things. But at the end of the day, I mean, we can read all of these columns, and Ross does a great job, by the way. Dellinger, he's as good as he's the
great.
best in terms of reporting that stuff. He is the best. It's about money, though. I think we're all trying to figure out a way that, the reason why the SEC and the Big Ten and these athletic directors are concerned is when Nick Saban was reeling off those numbers about the exponential increase in how much we're paying for the rosters. How are we going to do that? The dire part was, yeah, we could put it all into football and basketball, but the rest of those sports will be club sports. And that's a conclusion that I don't love if it happens that way.
Yep. No. Bill Benner from the Sporting News. Bill, thanks for jumping on. Always appreciate your contribution. Thank you, Bill.
Hey, anytime, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Good to talk to you, Bill Benner from the Sporting News. We check in on some college football. I never even cracked that story. The one that's before the where is it? Is it in the Senate? I have no idea.
So this was put together by Ted Cruz.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
And Maria Cantwell.
And I've not heard of her.
She's a Democrat from Washington State.
Okay.
So you got both sides.
Yep, I like that.
The one thing, and it all comes back to money. We don't talk politics here.
No.
We don't.
No.
And we won't.
No. Thank you. I'm glad you can continue on with
3 weeks away.
Yeah.
And after that 3 weeks concludes, don't worry.
Trent's going to be talking.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
No, I don't feel comfortable talking about
show. It's a sports show.
But what I do know is, who is one of the biggest contributors to Ted Cruz? Take one guess. Somebody from the college sports ranks. That's from the state of Texas.
The guy from Texas Tech,
Cody
Campbell.
Yeah. Whose fingerprints are all over this bill? Who wants to consolidate the media rights of the SEC and the Big Ten along with everybody else?
And that's just pushing back, right? It's the SEC and the Big Ten. They do.
Well, of course, because they don't want to give up their money.
They shouldn't.
Yes, they want guardrails, but not guardrails for us.
Not at our expense.
Absolutely. Leave us alone.
Yeah,
do things, but not that.
That's
all this is.
And one of the I guess tentacles of this is, and I was glad to see or hear or read that they don't want a super league. Allegedly, the Big Ten and the SEC. No, that's not what this is about. We're not going for a super league. Do you believe that? That was from Petiti himself.
No.
You still think of ultimately that's where we'll be after these television 2030 is the
reason they don't want a super league is because they can't. Because if that forms and the way that things are currently written, as I understand it, is that your antitrust exemption goes away.
Oh, then that'll kill them.
So that is why in the current iteration, no, they don't want a super league because they can't have a super league. However, I still believe eventually we will get there, but things have to change in order to get to that spot. Saving college sports. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
We would all love to see it, but in reality, is it realistic? Are you going to be able to get the votes to make it happen? I've heard anywhere from estimates 25, 30%. Other people have said it's 50-50.
So this is something that the politicians have to vote on?
Yes. You have to get this. That has to pass through the House in order to get there. And you need to have that to make this something that becomes law. It's going to be difficult. In today's political environment, maybe even more difficult than it's been ever in the past. There is hope because this was co-authored by both a red and a blue, a Republican and a Democrat, that they can get it. But the Democratic side, the biggest thing is eventually they would love to see that college sports becomes a union. That is what a probably big pushing port would be. You don't want to slow down the ability for them. And a really big thing that also has been scuttled under the radar is limiting the compensation, not for coaches.
Of course not.
Limiting,
not for AD.
No, limiting the compensation. That's the salary cap that comes along with it. You put that in place, what is that going to impact? Well, football, not really for the most part. Yeah, a little bit. But also look at where football players come from. Look at where many of these student athletes come from. There's many people in the South, many Black people from the South, and there was a group that came out and said, no, you're limiting, for the majority, young Black males' ability to make money. We're not going to support this. And when you put it in those parameters, you say, no, well, you probably should.
Yeah, no, you're right.
When you state it in that fashion, you understand. Then you get into the other side of the Olympics.
You know what? It's making my head hurt this whole time.
I know. It's incredibly frustrated. Yes, we all want to see college sports saved. If it leads to, it has to be politics that saves it, but I don't think they can do it either. I think this is our new reality. And yes, I still believe eventually, 5-10 years down the line, it's going to be 2 super leagues. That's what it's going to look like. That is going to be our reality whenever we get to that point. College sports as we know it has changed and evolved.
Oh, my.
And it's not slowing down.
Miller and Condon. We'll come back, wrap it up. Trent's Plays of the Day are next. Circus Sports sponsor those. Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Get off the bench and into the game with Sean Roberts and Lucas Strain. Tune in weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Do you have neuropathy? Are you experiencing numbness, tingling, and pain that just won't stop? Are you taking dangerous drugs that have serious side effects and never fix the pain? Neuropathy is a serious progressive condition that only gets worse if not treated properly. If not treated, it could result in confinement to a walker, wheelchair, or even amputation. Call Vero Neuropathy at 515-789-VERO. VERO for your $37 neuropathy evaluation. There are no drugs, exercises, or surgeries that can heal damaged nerves. Don't wait until your condition gets worse and stops you from living your life. Vero Neuropathy has time-tested, proven track record of helping hundreds of patients improve their neuropathy symptoms. If you're ready to regain your independence, contact Vero Neuropathy at 515-789-VERO. Call now for your $37 neuropathy evaluation and receive a personal treatment plan that is tailored to your needs. Call 515-789-VERO. That's 8367. Don't suffer anymore.
There's just something about a night at the ballpark. Good baseball, good company, and time together with the people you care about. That's what you'll find when you go to an Iowa Cubs game. Bring your family and friends and enjoy the sights and sounds of the game inside Principal Park. Every pitch, every cheer, every moment feels like summer. Come see the stars of the future and be part of a tradition that's been bringing people together for generations. Tickets are waiting for you at iowacubs.com.
Join us this Friday and Saturday, June 5th and 6th for the Spring Open House at Big Barn Harley-Davidson. Manufacturer reps will be on site, including Saddleman, Temp Performance, and Rockford Fosgate. Extended store hours Saturdays make to 5 with free lunch provided by Smokey D's and motorcycle stunt shows featuring Harley-Davidson baggers at 11, 1, and 3. Check out our selection of over 200 new pre-owned and certified pre-owned Harley-Davidsons. And take advantage of 2025 model year-end value-added promotions. Pick from a free Stage 1 upgrade, free scheduled maintenance plan, or free extended service plan. No money down and interest rates as low as 2.99% with approved credit, and $1,000 trade assistance on select new 2025 Cruiser and Street Glide models. At Big Barn Harley-Davidson, you get a free lifetime powertrain warranty with the purchase of any new or qualifying pre-owned Harley-Davidson. Great specials on aftermarket parts and licensed products with manufacturer reps on site, and motorcycle stunt shows performing Saturday. Life is what you make it, and we make it one hell of a ride. The Spring Open House this Friday and Saturday at Big Barn Harley-Davidson, I-80 at 2nd Avenue in Des Moines.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like wanting a psychic that helps you, but getting one that just ruins surprises.
I see the season finale. Steve's the killer.
Well, that's ruined.
Don't settle for just any insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
I think you all know by now that the Chicken Coop is one of my favorite places to go for a cold one and great food. And their new made-from-scratch menu has me going back even more. Their signature wings with 12 different sauces. The Nashville Hot Chicken Sandwich. And you got to try the new Big B chopped cheese. And the Chicken Coop has 3 locations. Urbandale, West Des Moines, and Ankeny. Wherever you are in the metro, the Chicken Coop has you covered.
You're listening to Miller and Condon. Off the Bench with Sean Roberts and Lucas Strain is on deck here on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
All right, Miller and Condon, final couple of minutes. Coming up next off the bench, Sean Lucas, 2 until 5, overtime Iowa from 5 until 6 o'clock. Really good week for the Iowa Cubs. Principal Park had Verlander on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night, is Scooble v. Matthew Boyd still on?
I think so, as far as I've seen, yeah.
I haven't seen anything to say it's not going to happen. The Scooble's going to be here. Wouldn't that be something?
Absolutely.
Jeez. And then Matt Shaw was here.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might have been called back up again. Boy, the Cubs just can't win at home.
Nope.
It's unbelievable.
Opportunities 2 nights ago, 2 on.
Something has to change.
What's going to change?
Well, I mean, it's always the manager, right or wrong.
Well, sometimes it's the hitting coach first.
Or the third base coach.
Usually a hitting coach. That's the one that usually gets the
Well, do something. Fire somebody.
Doesn't matter.
I don't think it does.
Yeah.
I just think that this team's just we overthought that valued how they're good they were going to be this year.
But they showed us for a month.
Yeah. Yep. And I thought it was wrong.
A month against good teams.
Right. Now they got crappy teams that finish up the A's. Here come the Giants and a whole bunch of Giants and Rockies. But you can't beat the A's.
Well, the A's are a playoff team.
I think are they still in first place? Or
they're
Seattle?
not first. No, Seattle has overtaken them, but they would be your final entrant into the American League playoffs where they'd head to Seattle.
Will they keep the colors when they go to Vegas?
They better.
I hope so.
They're beautiful.
I agree with you.
They work.
Yep, they do.
Doesn't always work, but it works.
Yep.
John Deere.
Yep.
And the Oakland Athletics.
So the John Deere Classic, by the way, speaking of John Deere.
Yes.
Are they moving? I've seen conflicting reports.
No, Matt Randazzo had the director on his show. He joined me yesterday and said that the reporting is not true.
So somebody just made that up?
Well, made it up or
planted a seed?
I had a conversation with somebody. You know what it could be, what we'd like to do is actually move that thing to Chicago.
Okay.
And it goes from that into a report to a tweet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the firestorm started. But both the director and people involved with John Deere, based in the Quad Cities, have said no.
Are they still getting the turnout that they used to at one point?
I think so, yeah. I know it's incredible.
So it's still a big event over there?
Yes, absolutely. Never been. Would like to.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to pull off usually, but
yep.
That might be something.
We used to have sponsored Jeff Holder.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Holder, yes.
Paid for it.
Absolutely.
No, he didn't pay us. We paid him.
You're right. Love to get that back. And we have our station now in the Quad Cities.
We do. That's a good point. On the Iowa Sports Radio Network. Make some picks.
All right, let's do it. What do we got today? 7 picks, I believe. Yeah, 7 picks. 2 in the WNBA. 2 plays tonight. I'm going to play the Dream against those Fever. Stephanie White and Caitlin hate each other, according to Twitter. And I'm going to play the Lynx, lay the 3.5 tonight as they're at home against the Valkyries. And then our player props for this evening. 1 in the W, giving me Canada over 6.5 assists, in that game against the Fever for the Dream tonight. We're also going to jump aboard with Natisha Howard, over 2.5 assists for her. 3 baseball props, Ernie Clement, under 1.5 total bases.
Come on.
Yarden Alvarez, right back on board with him again, over 1.5 total bases. And Jones, the young starter for the Pirates, we're going to go over for Jared Jones. 5.5 strikeouts this evening. Had Ohtani on the list because Unjuiced.bet told me that, but he is not expected to play. So we took him
He pitched last night. So,
yes.
Yeah. So Ernie Clement under a base and a half.
Under a base and a half. When he hits a double, I expect that text from you. Wrong, Condon.
I'll be watching a little puck tonight. I've got
yes.
Game 2. Carolina must win. You must keep your radio right here. Coming up next off the bench. Miller and Condon, noon 2, Iowa Sports Radio Network.
And we made it down to the